Welcome to the Operations Management Framework. In this video, we will be looking at the fourth quadrant, Operations Analysis and Improvement, dealing with the Service Delivery Improvement Plan. Service Delivery Improvement Plan. A Service Delivery Improvement Plan, also referred to as a SDIP, is a tool that focuses on service delivery improvement by addressing the gap between the current and the desired state of public service delivery. The goal of SDIPs is to provide a mechanism for continuous incremental improvement in service delivery. For this reason, SDIPs must be credible, effective, and above all, realistic. The following principles should guide the Service Delivery Improvement Plan process. Therefore, SDIPs must be anchored in the service beneficiaries' priorities for service improvement. Must be able to set targets for overall improvement. Example, 5% over 5 years. Service delivery improvement plans must be service beneficiary driven. They should also be driven by leadership and integrated in the day-to-day operational plans, but must not be bolt-ons or add-ons. Should be a continuous and incremental process, but not a once-a-year exercise. SDIPs must be built into the performance management system for institutions. They must be one of every employee's key performance assessment commitment. SDIPs must be able to hold all staff accountable for results and linked to rewards and incentives for achievement. There are 6 phases to consider when developing service delivery improvement plans. The first phase is the preparation phase. During the preparation phase, obtain buy-in from all stakeholders involved in the delivery of services to obtain understanding, support, and resources for developing a service delivery improvement plan, which will outline the improvement areas on the existing service and performance standards of the institution. Next is to appoint a champion or champions to run with the development of the Service Delivery Improvement Plan and the setting of revised standards within the government institution. The champion or champions should be able to understand issues and challenges of service delivery. Then, you develop a change management program in order to ensure that the rollout of the Service Delivery Improvement Plan initiative takes place successfully in the institution. Then, you develop applicable policy on service delivery improvement plans and service standards that is accepted and understood by all in the government institution. Lastly, you develop a communication plan that takes into consideration the critical role players that will influence the effective implementation of the improvement plan. How feedback on the annual performance results look like will also have to be outlined in the plan for all employees to take responsibility of the results. The next phase is Phase 2, Development Phase. This phase involves the identification of information required and an agreement on the source documents that will be used to inform the institution of its critical focus areas of improvement. Development of meeting schedules and continuous consultations with critical stakeholders. Consolidation of all the relevant information required in the prescribed template according to the set compliance requirements. Presentation of draft document to management and the broader Service Delivery Improvement Plan cross-functional team prior to final submission for approval. Submission of the revised document after all inputs have been collected for approval by senior management. Submission to the Department of Public Service and Administration for assessment of the critical compliance areas and reporting to Parliament. The approved document is also expected to have an agreed upon implementation plan, monitoring plan, reporting plan, evaluation plan, and a feedback plan. The next phase is Phase 3, Assessment Phase. Institutions are expected to have complied with the following criteria. An open, transparent, and consultative process was followed when developing the Service Delivery Improvement Plan. The provision of a table and all the details of the SDIP team, name, surname, rank, and functional area of work. How the executive management and service delivery point managers got involved in the development of the SDIP what approach was adopted to secure buy-in across the institution, and how the plan will further be cascaded for full commitment of all the affected staff members in the value chain. How the Service Delivery Improvement Plan team and senior management service members were capacitated. How the consultations with all other critical stakeholders were done in the development of the Service Delivery Improvement Plan. Provide a table of dates of consultations, stakeholders or units consulted, purpose of consultations. These must be supported by notes made and an attendance register. How the situational analysis gave guidance to the identification of the key services and the service beneficiaries. The process mapping, problem analysis, and the development of a problem statement emanating from this process. The meaningful use of the prescribed template as means of ensuring that problems identified in the statement will be resolved, performance improvement will be realized, and satisfaction levels will be improved. The sign-off by both the head of the institution and executing authority are also very critical for the document being accepted by the Department of Public Service and Administration. The agreed-upon openly consulted assessment tool is used through Service Delivery Improvement Plan assessment workshops to determine the quality of the SDIP assessments submitted to the Department of Public Service and Administration, in compliance with the derivative on the SDIPs. The next phase is Phase 4, Feedback Phase. This is the phase where institutions are informed of the findings of their Service Delivery Improvement Plan quality and compliance status. Both verbal and written feedback will be given by the Department of Public Service and Administration in order to raise areas of concern that might lead to an ineffective Service Delivery Improvement Plan and overlooked critical areas in the process of development. It is also very critical that the Department of Public Service and Administration engages with other oversight institutions in order to strengthen the quality of SDIPs submitted to the Department of Public Service and Administration for annual reporting to Parliament. The next phase is Phase 5, Monitoring, Reporting and Evaluation Phase. The monitoring and reporting of the day-to-day implementation of service delivery improvement plans is expected to be done at the service delivery points and supported by institutional policies that are meant to support an effectively functioning public service. Institutions are expected to report to Treasury and the Department of Public Service and Administration on the progress made in implementing SDIPs. The monitoring and evaluation of such plans by executive management ensures that feedback is also given to the critical stakeholders and service beneficiaries. The Auditor General and the Office of the Public Service Commission have their own monitoring instruments that determine the extent at which service delivery improvement is realized by service beneficiaries. There are other institutional internal M&E mechanisms like the satisfaction surveys and integrated complaints and compliments reports that should inform the next service delivery improvement plan for the following cycle. The next phase is Phase 6, Review Phase. The Service Delivery Improvement Plan should be seen as part of the institution's integrated strategic planning process and should be reviewed accordingly as the institution's strategic plan is reviewed. Where the institution's mandate changes due to political changes or change in the strategic plan and government priority areas, the SDIP should also be amended accordingly to reflect this change. These amendments or changes to the SDIP should be endorsed by the head of the institution and approved by the relevant executing authority. And that brings us to the end of the 6 phases. In conclusion, the development of an SDIP for an institution should ensure that an institution is continuously addressing the improvement of service delivery and should not only focus on activities undertaken. The approach to be adopted on how the non-service beneficiary-focused institutions can improve service delivery should be one that provides support and infrastructure that enables service delivery improvement to take place through the promotion of accountability and empowerment. Together, we believe we can achieve more. And that brings us to the end of the Operations Management Framework. For more information on the development of a service delivery improvement plan, please refer to the Operations Management Framework available on the following link.